The tunnel book that I create in this video is going to have 4 different layers. The first is the spools of thread, the second is the hat, the third is the character Sophie, and the fourth is the background, which is supposed to be sort of like a window. So as you're thinking about your design for your tunnel book, think about what's going to be in the foreground, what's going to be in the middle ground, and what's going to be in the background. So the spools of thread, because they're at the front, those are the foreground. Sophie and the hat are more of a middle ground because they're sort of in the middle of the scene, and the window's in the back. After you've figured out what you want your tunnel book to look like, you need to make some frames. These frames could be any shape or size. If you look at some of the examples in the slideshow in Google Classroom, some of them are even circular, but a rectangle is a good place to start if you just want to follow along in the video. To make these frames, I just cut a couple pieces of paper down to the same size. They're about half the size of a regular piece of copy paper. I folded those rectangles in half and cut out the center. Next, I'm going to cut out the illustrations for my tunnel book. In my sketch, you can see that I actually drew these 2 layers together. So I'm going to have to cut the hat and the character into 2 separate pieces. I know that's hard to see on the screen right now, but you'll see it in a minute. In the sketch that I made, you could already tell that the hat was in front of Sophie because of the way that I drew it and overlapped the character with the object. But in my tunnel book, I really want to emphasize that Sophie is sitting behind the hat, so these are going to be on 2 separate layers. After each frame or each layer of your scene is ready to go, you're going to attach some tabs. Now these are just small rectangles of paper that I folded in half, and I'm gluing one half to the frame and the other half is going to be glued to the accordion that I'll show you how to fold in a minute. So basically, yeah, it's a piece of paper that I folded in half, and it's almost like a little tab that I'm attaching to each frame. The reason we're making these little tabs on each frame is so they can fit nicely in the accordion fold. The accordion fold that you make is going to hold the entire book together. And you can see that if I were to glue this piece on here, the paper would sort of bend back because the accordion is slanted. But if I have a tab on my piece of paper and then I glue that tab to half of the fold, the layer is going to sit in the middle of that fold, and it looks sort of like an arrow pointing right. For the 2 accordion folds, one will go on each side of your tunnel book. I just used a piece of paper that was the same size as the paper that I used for the frames at the beginning of this video. And I'm just going to fold that paper equally into, like, if I were going to make a paper fan. And I only need 4 of those folds. So if each little V shape is a fold, I need 4 of those so that each frame can sit inside.